Hello world, and welcome to this pick a card reading about what makes you so attractive. So pick a card readings are where you get to pick the number, the deck, the card, or object. You use your intuition to pick that. Then I have the timestamps down below in the description. You click on that time for your corresponding deck, and I meet you there, and then I use my intuition to then read the cards for you. So that's if you're new to pick a card readings. If you already know which one is for you, by all means, head out there. And our question today is what makes you so attractive. So obviously I'm using other decks as well, but these are our baseline tarot decks. So the first deck, I'm going to be placing objects here and telling you what each deck is. This is a Botticelli deck. Botticelli, the famous, I think, Renaissance painter. They take his artwork and then they put it into this deck. And then the object here, this is a Druzy Agate egg. So we're all going to get eggs for every single one of these different crystal eggs. For group 2, this is Tarot of Mystical Moments. This is more of a surrealist deck. And then the egg that goes with this is a green one. This is Jade. So a green Jade egg. For group number 3, this is going to be our more modern deck. This is modern, bohemian. It is Light Seer's tarot deck. And then the egg that goes with it is this, this is Agate. And then it's got some green in it. I chose the ones that I thought go best with the decks. And then for group number 4, this is Golden Art Nouveau. This is going to be probably your most traditional type deck that I'm working with in this. And then this is another Druzy Agate egg. So Druzy is when we have an opening here with crystals in it. So, and then this one is just white, where this one has some other colors. So that's what we have for the decks. If you're still not sure which one is for you, I'm going to do a breathing exercise. I invite you to do that with me. I'm just going to take a comfortable seat, close my eyes, take a deep breath in, and release out any tension. We're going to set the intention that you will get the messages that you need to receive. And take another deep breath in and release. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you, and I will meet you at your reading. Thank you for being here. Hello, group 1. If you picked this Druzy Agate egg, or the number 1, or you just really like this Botticelli deck, you are in the right place. I'm just going to move that out of the way. We'll get to this deck in a moment. I am going to get out some other cards to start, and we're going to start with this really beautiful Cosmic Laws Oracle. I'm just going to get one card from here, and it comes out the Law of Love. So you come across as somebody who just really loves people and is really into other people. It doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. However, I'm kind of getting this vibe of how many times was Elizabeth Taylor married? Like 7 times, something crazy like that. For those of you who don't know who Elizabeth Taylor is, she's just somebody who like throughout her life just really had a lot of romances and probably fell in love very easily. You might also be getting a lot of fire energy from this. So a lot of, like, there's this you just have this like magnetism, this attraction, this that people see, and probably creativity too. You're just a little bit different than the normal. You're not, you know, that Barbie movie is coming out soon. If you're watching this when I upload it, you're not a Barbie, but you know, you're not that like within like that certain parameter, but there's something like va 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 boom about you, and is very attractive that people are looking for. And you have a big heart, and people really you know, see that love radiating from you, and they want to be a part of it. She who flies is somebody who's very it looks like you are somebody who goes out and gets what you want. Very daring, somebody who's persistent. You know, a lot of times I see this one, the she who persists, perspective, defiant, persistent, this Jocelyn character, this Jocelyn archetype here in this card. And I think of like somebody who's very quiet, and I think you do work behind the scenes a lot. You don't necessarily yell at what you mean, but you're also very daring. So it's like your whole group would go to do bungee jumping, and everybody's like, oh, you know, this is a little crazier than we thought. And everybody's over here talking, and then you're just like, whoop, leap off the bridge over here. Like you would be somebody who would do that. Valeris, she who flies, dare, do, reach. You're somebody, I don't think you're somebody who sits on the sidelines at all. And maybe that's why you have this like law of love coming up here, that you know, you're not afraid to put yourself out there. You're not afraid to, like, I'm not sure that you even have a type, because I think you are just really open to new experiences all around. But, you know, it's not like you have to, you're not in your face about your creativity or your daringness, your confidence. You're not in your face about it. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna go do it. Like you're the friend that people call who are like, well, what do you think I should do? And you're gonna always give them the advice to, you know, just buckle up and do it. You're not afraid to put in that work. You know, this she who persists here, this archetype here of Jocelyn, this perspective and defiant. You're not somebody who is controlled easily. And you know, I think this law of love attracts like a huge net, like a wide net. I said you didn't really necessarily have a type. And it's sometimes people see you as like this, sorry about my computer, don't know why it's dinging, object to behold. And they, you know, you're very open and interested in you know, talking to all types of people, but you're not afraid to walk away either when somebody thinks that they're going to control you or use you, or you're some sort of trophy to behold, because you're not that at all. But because you are so like brilliant, you might get that. Let's just get 2 more cards out of here, and then we'll get to the tarot. So, ooh, the corn, very interesting. A lot of very golden energy, very sparkly energy, and lightning. So there is a piece of you that is very down to earth, and relates to a lot of people. That's why I think that you have this, you know, law of love, that a lot of people are attracted to you, or a lot of people will just go and like profess their love for you pretty easily, because you know, people see you and they think that you're for them, but you have this like shine and gold to you. But again, I love the lightning over here next to Valeris, because it's like, bam, lightning. You know, you are gonna put things into action. You're not afraid to do that. I mentioned down to earth, right? With the corn, down to earth, very kind of grounded, very kind of approachable. But there's something very exciting about you too. There's almost like 2 sides, like this kind of and I love that the corn is next here to this like perspective, this persistent, this quietness, this willing to work on things, willing to push it, because you don't get a field full of corn just sitting still. You know, you have to work on it, and you know you work at it, but you're not afraid to put in the work or put in the action. You are somebody who will realize a dream and put it into action. Now, of course, we're going to have times where we're like, oh, you know, I just don't feel like that, or I'm just not in that mood right now, or I'm not in that mode right now. But I'm just saying, like, you have this within inside of you, and people see it, and it's very exciting. The exciting part, this lightning part. And I almost feel like sometimes, like I said, this law of love, like you feel, you know, down to earth and very approachable on one set, but I almost feel like the people that you would be attracted to, they see your lightning and they're like, ooh, I don't know. Like it sometimes you can be a little too much for people, and that's okay. Like the initial attraction, and then it's like, oh gosh, you know, this person is a firecracker, or this person has moxie. I'm hearing those kind of things about you. When corn is around, like this can be a symbol of abundance. I feel like there's abundance around you, but I feel like it's also like an abundance that you have created yourself, again, with that hard work. And that willingness, I think that you make a lot of your luck just by putting yourself out there and willing to take action and being formidable. There's a certain amount of being formidable around you, and energy, and very exciting energy that is around you. So let's just get a couple more cards. What else can you tell us about group 1 and what makes them so attractive? And maybe one more card. It's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, okay, King of Wands for sure. Because I feel like you may not feel like you're fully in control of the energy that's around you. Knave of Swords, and this is coming in reverse. I feel like you're not afraid to ask questions when you don't really know the answer to things. And then this is the Queen of Chalices, but in reverse. And then we've got the Moon in reverse. So I feel like the Queen of Chalices, like, she's such a loving and giving person, and I feel like that's in there, that's within you, but I don't think that's the first thing that people see. And I feel like you're somebody who will make sure that your cup is full before you fill others, and that is not a knock or a negative on you at all. It's actually very positive, because you can't pour from an empty cup. La Luna reversed, the Moon. I feel like there is like this mysterious element to you. I don't think you think you're mysterious at all. I think you're very like calculating, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And you have everything within your head, but because of, you know, I think you can be very logical in what you do, but it's not necessarily what everybody else would do. But it is, you know, very logical, because again, we've got this daringness, we've got this persistence. Like a lot of people give up, and that is what is so like amazing about you, is pushing through. And you know, the Knave of Swords over here. So when you don't understand something, you're not afraid to go out and ask other people. And I feel like that is part of you meeting new people, is, you know, getting into that interest and getting those questions answered. Like the Knave, if he was upright, he would just maybe be a little bit more of a novice at something, and you are somebody who kind of can learn through other people's experiences. And I feel like this like anchors that energy a little bit. And of course, we get this King of Wands energy, which I just feel like is very smoldering, very creative. Again, you know, I'm glad that it's over here next to the lightning, next to the dare, next to the dew. The King of Wands, he's very much in control of his creativity. He's in control of what he does. He is control of what he creates. There's some entrepreneurial spirit here. Definitely, I feel like that with this kind of like defiant and persistent, like if you have your own business, you would be successful with your own business because you are, you know, a go-getter. Go out there, get it, go do it. And people, I think if you were in sales, people would just, you know, love to have you come back and talk to them and learn about things just because of you, of your personality, and they like to hear just what you have to say and what your perspective is. I think you're again, like you seem very wise, and if you're not very old, it's kind of like this old soul energy, this wise beyond your years, but definitely this very playful spirit as well. Very serious, but very playful at the same time, that people are just really kind of interested in you in that way. But certainly a lot of boss energy, a lot of you've got it under control energy. This is what people are seeing. This is what they're picking up. And again, kind of like, I feel like this Queen of Chalices is like you're very caring, but that's underneath the surface. That's something special for when people get to know you and get to meet you. I think you're very, I wouldn't say you focused, but not in a bad way. You have, because you have your goals, you have your dreams, you have what you are going out after and out for, and that people see that and are inspired by what you're doing and the energy that you're bringing to those things. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 1. This is the Jade Egg group. We also have Mystical Moments, which we will get out in just a moment. We're actually going to start with this deck. This is the Cosmic Laws Oracle. And what does group 2, like what is so attractive about our group number 2? Law of Clarity. I love how it's blue and very cool and calm and collected here. I feel like you show people new ways to tackle things, new ways to look at things. You're probably somebody who is just very cool and collected. At least you inspire confidence in other people. You would be great in a leadership position. You'd be great as somebody who gives, I don't want to say necessarily advice, but you listen to what somebody has to say and maybe help them find their own conclusions about a situation. I just had to look to see if these were upright or not. Let's get some more information here. What makes group 2, our group 2 people so special, so beautiful, so attractive? What are other people seeing about them that we can add on to this Law of Clarity? Okay. Fearlessness, I love that. Justified, resistant. Ooh, you have like a warrior, so probably more of like, was it Lao Tzu who was like that? I think you're like a warrior in a garden. You're ready to fight if you need to, or certainly like put up boundaries. And even though I think you're open to helping people find their way, find their clarity, you're somebody that and probably have learned the hard way that you don't want others, or you don't allow others to tread on you. You're not a doormat. You can put up healthy boundaries and have healthy relationships. She who resists, this is fearless, justified, and resistant. Justified, that's why I was saying, like, probably because you've learned the hard way, your boundaries are justified and justified to yourself, and that's who you are accountable to and for. There might be like this cool, calm, and collected. It might sometimes feel to others that you have like an armor on. She who prepares, this is Zenith, formulate, strategize, and devise. But there's a lot of things going on in your mind and behind the scenes. And you seem like somebody who is maybe a little bit more introverted, plays things closer to the vest. People don't necessarily know what's going on in your mind, but they have this calm, they get this calm energy from you, probably because your sanctuary, your calmness, you may not have a lot of people over to your home, because it is important to you that you have a sanctuary. It's important to you that you have your space, and you exist in that space, and you take time and moments for yourself. I do love in this one, the She Who Resists, we do have like a bee here. She has flowers in her hair, and we have a butterfly here. It's kind of behind the scenes. So there's a lot of things going on in your mind. Also with Zenith, she's holding a sword. I won't be surprised if we get some sword energy once we get over to the tarot cards. I'm going to pull 2 more from this deck though, and see what other energy we have. We get the rattle, very interesting, and we get thunder. It's funny, the first group got lightning and you get thunder. I feel like you are very quiet, but when you say something, it carries a lot of weight. It's really like it means something. And it's interesting that we have the rattle here too, like a rattlesnake. You hear that rattle when their boundaries are crossed. So it's like that warning shot, letting people know that they're coming up against that boundary. So, but in this deck, the rattle is a tool used by like shamans. It's used to call in great spirit. So I feel like when you have the rattle, there is like something about you. Remember, we're talking about this cool, calm, collected, this ease that you put people in, and there feels like there is a connection between you and spirit. Like you might be a channel. You feel like you're a channel, and it feels like you're able to, when you speak to people, you speak with authority, and it feels like it comes from like a greater source than maybe yourself or your human self. It feels like you have this tap into the divine, and that's why I feel like other people are very drawn to you for that clarity. But that's why I also feel like you may need to wrap yourself in armor or protect yourself. You might be empathic, that you're able to connect to other people and their emotions, and that's why this armor. Or it might be that, hey, just a reminder, if you feel like you're picking up emotions from other people, you might need to set boundaries and even set intentions where you are protecting yourself or questioning the emotions that are coming through, that they may not be your own. Okay. And thunder is very interesting too, because in this deck it talks about thunder kind of being just really feeling a calling, feeling it in your bones. The deck talks about like bison running past, and I don't know if you've ever been next to a freight train or next to bison, or really felt that clap of thunder in your heart, but it feels like something is gaining momentum for you and you're calling into being something bigger. The other thing that it's interesting that thunder mentions and goes back into this boundaries that I think is very important for you, is gossip or drama, and it's talking about moving past that. I feel like you're somebody who is beyond that or higher than that, and maybe in the past you have engaged in gossip, but I feel like now or as you're evolving, it's more of a talk to somebody rather than about them. And just you know, you're not necessarily somebody who will engage in gossip. So we get Judgment, we get 4 of Wands, we get 7 of Wands. So a lot of inspiration and action energy. And then we get King of Cups in reverse. I think, you know, the King of Cups in reverse, I feel like, is coming in here because of, I said something about being empathic, and I feel like that's why he's arriving here. It's just a reminder that to set those intentions, question those emotions that come across. I feel like there are people who would be more than happy to give you their emotional baggage, and they see you as somebody who can handle it, and you certainly can, but you don't need to, and you don't need to handle it for everyone. And in fact, I feel like I was talking to somebody else and they were talking about being empathic, and I was like, you know, you need to get those emotions back to them because it's for them to deal with. They want to unload. There's a lot of people who want to unload their emotional baggage on people, and you would be a prime target, prime suspect for that. So use your voice, use your boundaries to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I feel like that's why we have the King of Cups here in reverse. So just, you know, I feel like that might be why people are drawn to you, because they're like, oh, you know, unconsciously they feel like they see you and they see that you have this confidence about you, and that there's some sort of clarity that you can offer them, and unconsciously they may have been unloading their emotional baggage on you. But who was it? It was like Ice-T? I was watching a clip of him, and he was talking about how when you say yes to something, you're like taking somebody else's issues on. Like if you say yes to taking them to the airport, and like, I got you, but then you have to, you're doing somebody a favor, and then you have to make sure you have gas in your vehicle, you have to make sure you're there on time, you have to get up, you have to do all of your due diligence, you're the one who's driving, you're taking responsibility from this other person, and then they get to be mad at you if you're late. So sometimes you can just say no. So that's coming through as something for someone there. Judgment. And I feel like I love this Judgment because it is very... It goes back to this thunder, goes back to this rattle. I feel like there's definitely a higher calling, higher purpose for you here. You might be somebody who considers yourself a star seed or a light worker. I feel like or you know, you even within the realms of a religion, like you feel a calling, you feel like you need to step up here and be bigger and higher than yourself. Judgment is usually Gabriel blowing the horn. Sometimes it's kind of like at the pearly gates kind of thing. But it's going to that next level. It's leveling up in your life. So you probably are somebody who is constantly learning and moving and growing, and people are seeing that. I don't know if people are necessarily putting you on a pedestal, but I kind of get that idea. There's a strength here with the Seven of Wands. Necessarily the Seven of Wands... you know, I just love this one. It's so interesting that we've got the strong man kind of bending these bars here. And then we've got like this fight kind of happening here. I feel like sometimes, and again, I feel like the bars are a boundary. So boundaries keep coming up because I feel like that's important to you. But the Four of Wands, stability, beauty, and celebration of you, celebration of others. Like you're certainly somebody that people want to invite to parties. You're fun to have around, even if sometimes that can be difficult for you. And again, that what I was saying before about you can say no to something if you want to. That's part of your boundaries, and that's part of you stepping up and evolving. Sometimes things are just not for you, or you can't handle everything, and that's okay. You can just handle what you need to handle. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I feel like, or also I feel like you're also willing to share your scars with other people and your experiences with other people when you trust them. And that's kind of coming through over here in the 7 of Wands. And that's a really beautiful experience that when you trust somebody and you do let them know those things, that is very treasured. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. This is beautiful green agate egg. So if you chose this, or you like the Light Seers Tarot, or just the number 3, you're in the right spot. So we will get to this in a moment. Instead, I am going to pull a couple cards from other decks. I'm reaching over there right now. This is the Cosmic Laws Oracle, and we're going to pull our first card out of this. It's been giving us some really good information. And for you, very interesting that stagnation comes out. I feel like there's a lot of stillness. I feel like just quiet, calm. I wouldn't necessarily call you stagnant, but you're somebody who's in it for the long haul, somebody who will kind of power through I don't want to say boring, because I don't think you consider things boring. I see you as somebody who will read like a whole series of novels. That sticking power, that bum glue, if you will. Like, I almost see you as a writer, as somebody who is very kind of creative, or has a job where your job is to be there and to do that thing. And to, even though like writing is such a beautiful and creative thing, like it takes power and practice. I think you're somebody who could be a black belt in something, that you, again, in it for the long haul, that push through, that grind, you are that sticking power. Let's going back to that bum glue. I read a book once about writers, 'cause that just came through as an expression for this particular reading, but it was in a book, like that glue that puts your butt in the seat and makes you do things and complete it. You are a finisher, and your beauty is really when you do finish something. It's not easy, and it is definitely an exercise in your mind, of sticking with something and maybe even seeing something that others don't see. You see that ultimate beauty. There's a lot of people who just do not have that creativity to start something and push it through to the end. You could be somebody who walks through the dollar store and sees the potential in things and just understands that, oh, I need to do this, I need to flip it over, I need to paint it, I need to add this, I need to do this, and it'll be perfect. And you kind of see maybe the space in between things, and the potential of that. And very interesting. What else do we have for our group number 3? I also feel like you're somebody who can connect with their dark side. And look at that, she who waits, so patience. And, you know, you understand the power and the potential of your own self and of your mind and of really humanity. And I feel like, you know, making friends with that dark side allows us to really kind of shine our light. Interesting that we have she who begins here. She who waits, patient, waiting, determination, definitely with what we discussed here with this cosmic law of stagnation. And just because you're stagnant, it doesn't mean that you're not doing things. It doesn't mean you're not achieving things. You've got the wheels turning in your head. It's just you are biding your time. You're not pushing things, you're not forcing things, you are doing things, I don't want to say necessarily by the book, but you see the potential and you see where things are going to open up, and it is about waiting for your moment and then you start. And she who begins, launch, actualize, and potential. So you're not afraid to put things into action either. You have to begin something to end it, and you are certainly somebody who will push something through to the end. It may take you a long time, but you see that potential. The only thing is, I think you could pick up like a lot of different projects or a lot of different things, because you might see so much potential in stuff, and maybe others don't understand your timeline. So where you're like, yeah, I'm getting that clip of Dwight Schrute where he's like, you know, it's 2 or 3 months, and then Jim is like 6 months, sure. 8 months, sure. A year, I could see that as a possibility. Like, because you will pick something up and work on it a little bit at a time, but again, you see that potential. You'll get done with it eventually. You have the patience for it. So let's pull from here. We have the ancient ones, very interesting, and we have the council. Wow. So 1 and 11. So 11, if you see 11, or ones, that could be very important to you. It's interesting that both of these come up. It indicates some sort of like wisdom, deep wisdom. I feel like you might be, this came up in another reading, that you might be described as an old soul, somebody who you learn through others. And again, I feel like, you know, you're seeing that potential, like you can see somebody do something step by step by step, and you think, oh, I could do that too. I can figure that out. Or you might even be the person who creates those steps, but you are certainly open to learning new things from other people. You're open to being part of a group, and you are a wise counsel. You are somebody who is wise beyond your years, and you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. I think you are someone who knows, or at least is perceived to know, that you are more than the sum of your parts. You are larger than yourself. You're bigger than yourself. Tapping into that ancient wisdom, tapping into the wisdom of others. You have a great ability for discernment. When, you know, like you have this BS detector, when somebody starts telling you something, you know if it's right or if it's wrong. You have this great internal compass. You have also the ability to bite off more than you can chew. And it's about challenging yourself, but also understanding that you can reach new heights as you challenge yourself. The council over here talks about loving deeply, forgiving sincerely, and to dare greatly, taking great leaps, that, you know, you really picture yourself in the seat of success and are willing to take risks and leaps. They're really, for you, kind of calculated. They're not, it's not foolish. The leaps that you take are very calculated, but it's something that maybe somebody else wouldn't do, even with the knowledge that you have. 2 of Pentacles. Let's see what that other one is. I just want to get 2 more cards out here. What else do we have? Oh, and we're going to get 3 more cards. I love the Queen of Swords. I love the 2 of Pentacles. We get 4 of Wands. That's interesting. That came out for our last group. Celebration, love. There are other people who, would love to invite you to parties. Look at this, the world. That's interesting that comes out because that is about completion. You're not afraid to complete things. You're not afraid to walk away from situations that don't suit you. That's the Ten of Swords, and this is the Queen of Swords here. Stepping up in your power. You're seen as somebody who's very powerful, somebody who is very thoughtful in their power. Yeah, I definitely see the Swords energy for sure. The Ten of Swords is kind of like, at this point, the Ten of Swords is, you're done with the BS, you're done with the bullshit, you're done with the backstabbing, the gossip, you're walking away, you're able to walk away with that, and you're not so concerned. Like, you walk into a room and you don't wonder if they like you, you wonder if you like them. That is the kind of energy here that you're embracing. The world confirms what I was talking about, like starting and finishing things. The world finishes. The world is the ending. The world, and then at the end, it's funny that it comes in over here of she who begins, because it's a new beginning, new ending. It's always like striving for more, but along the way, you're somebody who has a lot of joy and passion, and with friends. You're a decision maker. You make great decisions. You make heart over head decisions. Or you balance decisions where you balance the logic and the heart, and you trust your intuition, and you know more, that there's more to it than just something that's logical. But you certainly have this aspect of logic, and you have beautiful creative ideas, and you're a channel for ideas that come through. Again, like I said, you're able to see the space between things and the possibility of things, and the moves you need to make to put those things into action. Now listen, I'm saying a lot of beautiful and wonderful things, and I believe is true about you. As sometimes we can talk ourselves out of that. And I feel like that's kind of the Ten of Swords at times. We need to get past that energy, and you need to embrace this this energy of the Queen of Swords and really believing in yourself, because all of the things that I'm saying is very true, and I feel like people and loved ones around you see it as well, and maybe they only glimpse portions of this because maybe that's all that you allow them to see. But there's a lot of amazing potential here, and it's all about setting those intentions for yourself in your life and putting that out there as to where you see yourself. I know I hate this question when people ask me this question, but where you see yourself in 5 years, because you need to have a vision for yourself in your life, and you're very, very powerful as somebody who can create that vision. And sometimes we feel like this stagnation is a rut and we're stuck there, but all of these other cards is telling me that use this time, don't let the time use you, use this time to push yourself forward and very much create the life that you want and create the joy that you want. And you can do that through the decisions that you're making, and you can make just amazing, beautiful decisions here with the Queen of Swords. So that's what I have for you, my lovely group threes. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, my powerful and beautiful group of fours. We've got this beautiful Druzy Agate Egg, and if you chose that or the number 4, or you like this particular deck, which is the Golden Art Nouveau, you are in the right spot. Maybe you just, liked the timestamp. So we're going to get to this in a moment. I'm going to pull some other cards first. So this is the Cosmic Laws Oracle, and we're going to start with this as to what makes our group fours so beautiful, so attractive. Solitude, very interesting that Solitude comes out. A card similar to that came out in the group before this, so if you were drawn to that, there might be messages there for you as well. I feel like Solitude is about, your internal strength. You might be introverted. There's probably like a great mystery about you. There's like just this beauty of kind of like checking out. You're not afraid to, take yourself to dinner or take yourself to a movie. There's so many other people, like, there's certain courage in that. And I think there's so many other people who are afraid to be alone, but you know what is, you know, you're your own best company, and there's a certain courage, but also confidence that is being picked up in that. I love the blue and orange here because I feel like it's complementary. Like when you know that you are your own best company and when you are not afraid to be alone, that is when other people are attracted to you and they want to be around you, because you have this certain interest, even if you don't say anything. And I almost feel like people are attracted to you because they can tell you things. What else can we know? Ooh, She Who Yearns. Know what makes our group number 4 so beautiful. I'm just going to get one more card here, and then we'll look at them together. And we get Blanche, she who brings the light, and then we have She Who Yearns. Yearning, longing, desire, pine for. So I think that this is more about how people see you. They look at you and they see this mystery, this mysteriousness, and they really want your attention. They pine for it, they long for it, they yearn for it. Because when you have this beautiful light that when you shine on somebody, it really makes them feel special. That's because I think that you really do see people as people. Doesn't matter what kind of, you know, what walk of life, you know, where their background is, and you just create this like very desirable, or almost like caffeine. There's almost like an addictive quality here, and I think like caffeine, because you charge people. So the only thing I would question or caution you on is, if you're charging people, just make sure that you are staying charged yourself. Let's get 2 more cards. You know, that's this light within, light, serenity, beacon. I really feel serenity and solitude are 2 beautiful things. And I think that other people can kind of see you as interesting. We get the heart sky and then the tree of life. Okay, okay. They really see you as, I was gonna say, beacon, like a lighthouse, and then we get the heart of the sky. So definitely guiding light, guiding others, helping others. I think you would be great at that, guiding and helping others. Maybe even a teacher. And then the tree of life is very kind of grounding energy. I think the grounding energy kind of helps you. It's interesting that you have, you know, this feels like there's, you know, some more blue here, but also green. So I think you almost like this muse energy, that you help inspire others, inspire people, and guide them in some way. It might be a moral compass that people are like, hey, you know, there's this situation, what do you think about this? Do you think this is, you know, whatever? And your opinion is very much sought after for those types of things. I think you're somebody who, you know, your family might be important to you. With the roots here of this tree of life, it's really important. And you see yourself, or others see you as, you know, really being entwined with their destiny and their future. And understand too that I'll be a conscious creator. So like you have a lot of great power here, and you need to be conscious of it and conscious in how you wield that power. You may feel responsible for everyone, everything. So just because you have this solitude thing going on, it doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. Understand that we have connections. You have like familial connections. You have friend connections. You don't have to be the one who is always in charge or always steps up to the plate to have to do things. So just understand that. but you are a very capable person, and you know that about yourself, and you might want to take on everything and take on the world, but that's a false prison of your own making, and you can open the door and allow others to engage with you and co-create with you. And I almost feel like that's what the tree of life here is, like intertwining with others. You can find joy in that as well. And I think that too, that's why, you know, when we were talking about solitude and the two colors and they're kind of entwining, and that your confidence in yourself really does attract others. So what else do we have? It's interesting that we have death in reverse there, and we'll see what these other cards are as soon as we get everything out. Be careful not to pour from an empty cup. And then we've got the, I think sometimes like you might be overwhelmed emotionally. The Wheel of Fortune, that's interesting, that is over that. We'll get to that in a moment. And then we've got, you might be impatient at times. This is the Knight of Pentacles, and he is kind of coming in reverse. So just understand, you know, you have this great power. Just understand you might need some patience at times. I do love that we have Death reversed and we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. These are both major arcana cards, and it talks about you kind of making your own luck. Because the Wheel of Fortune is kind of about luck. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But it's making your own luck when you're in control of your own emotions. I love, and I don't love, but it confirms here this Ace of Cups reversed, where I was talking about you not needing to do everything alone and by yourself. I feel like if there's a weakness here, it is that you feel like you need to do that. And I feel like, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup, and allow other people to help you. And when you start doing that, you really do turn this wheel in your favor. You don't have to be alone to do that. And then you can kind of expect the unexpected. So sometimes, you know, and it happens to everybody, like our emotions can get out of control a little bit. I feel like sometimes you have your heart set on something, and it doesn't come out right, and you might want to feel like you just throw everything away. But really that's just the time that you're just being tested, and you should push through a little bit more, because there's, again, a lot of power here in this reading. And then we have Death reversed. Death is about change, and it's about inevitable change, and it's about, like, you know, if there's any constant in our lives, it's that we have change. But I really feel like it's coming in reverse for you, because with the Wheel of Fortune here, to remind you that you are in control of your own destiny and of your own choices, and especially with the power that you have behind you. And I know that, you know, this is an attractiveness reading of what people see attractive about you, and there's a certain power, but there's also a certain power that you have that you aren't tapping into. So sometimes the cards are just like, hey, you need to, well, we have them on the line. We need to tell them this. We need to tell them that they are in you know, you're writing your own destiny. You're writing your own book. Be the leader of, because there is a lot of muse energy here, but like of helping other people. But you also don't forget to be the main character in your own story, in your own book. And that is just going to make you all the more powerful. It's kind of like with the solitude that I was talking about, like those opposites attract, where when you're okay being by yourself, that's when other people are like, ooh, I want to go talk to them. What's going on with them? So they seem like they've got something going on. They seem like they've got something interesting behind there. And when you have this beautiful light, this beautiful aura that really attracts people, like you're probably somebody that people would describe as a shiny person. Sometimes, you know, you can get drained emotionally. So it's just and I feel like, you know, people are attracted to you because they see that you are willing to give it your all for somebody else. Okay, but and that's what I'm seeing here. So I'm just telling you, you know, sometimes you have to say no, sometimes you have to set boundaries, sometimes you have to be okay with walking away from a situation if it's not serving you. And you don't have to worry about, you know, did they find me attractive or what, you know, don't worry about those types of insecurities. Really, you know, step forward and tap into your confidence so that you are ready to go the next day or the day after that, because it's about longevity. It's not about, you know, this Knight of Pentacles goes through and moves very, very slowly, and he's like, you know, the tortoise and the hare. He's the tortoise, and I feel like sometimes you might feel like you need to get a little, you know, you're rushed or you need to get something done, and I feel like this is just a reminder to slow down a little bit, pick up the reins of your own life, take up the reins. You have the power and the foundation, and you really do have the ear of the universe. However you tap into that, whether that is through prayer or meditation or going within yourself, there's a lot of power here that you're not even really realizing yet, and that is part of this aura that you're projecting. Like, others see it, they don't quite know what it is. They're like, ooh, I don't know, there's like this mystery going on with this person, but now you know what it is, and now you know, you need to figure out how to tap into that without and then be of service to others. So I think you do like to be of service to others, but without draining yourself. So that's what I have for you, group 4. Very beautiful, very interesting, especially this this desire. I think you're very desirable, and people, you know, want to spend time with you. Just don't let them drain you. So that's what I have for you. Hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading.